Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I am an edutainer here at ITProTV. My name is Adam Gordon. I'm your host for this series, How to Use Zoom. And in this episode, we're going to take a look at something really important, actually something very fundamental, how you set up and schedule meetings. It's called your personal meeting room. And you may or may not be aware of the fact you have one, and you may or may not be using it, but I'm going to show you where to find it and how to modify the settings associated with it and give out your personal meeting ID if you want people to join you in like a one-on-one meeting in that personal space. Now, the good news is whether you're using the basic plan, the free version of Zoom, or one of the paid plans, whatever those are, all of them, regardless, have access to this capability. So this is the same, regardless of the plan you're using. Join me here if you will. I'm going to start by taking a look in the web portal. I'm logged on using my Adam at ITProTV user, meaning our business plan that we're paying for. And I'm in the personal area, and I'm looking at the meetings area, the meetings tab. I'm just going to zoom over here so you can see that while we begin. I'm on the meetings tab. As I scroll over here, upcoming meetings, these are tabs in this area. Previous meetings, we're focused on the personal meeting room right here. And you can see it's labeled Adam Gordon's personal meeting room. Now, I have the ability to understand and see these settings, but before we do anything else, let me show you the view if you're logged on using a basic plan. I said this is the same, and you're going to see the same exact settings, and indeed you will. I'm going to go over here to my Windows 10 virtual machine where I have another instance of the Zoom portal logged in using my basic subscription, so let's just bring that up real quickly. I'm logged in here, and you could see over here, I'm logged in using a different user. We can see I'm logged in as O365 guy, and I'm logged in using my basic subscription. So it clearly shows us that that is indeed a different user. I'm still looking at personal in the web portal, still looking at meetings. You already saw as I scroll over, I'm in personal meeting room, identical, except for the fact that the name, of course, is different. But the settings we're going to look at are the same regardless. So wherever you begin and whatever plan you may be using, the settings and ultimately the ability to use a personal meeting room are going to be the same. We're already here, so we might as well just stay in the basic plan. It's really not going to matter for what we're doing. You'll see as I scroll down, aside from the name and aside from the time here and my ability to add to calendar, we can add to Google Calendar, Outlook Calendar as an ICS, and or a Yahoo Calendar. So we have three major calendar capabilities here that we can add this into. You'll notice I also have the meeting ID. That's my personal meeting ID. So my PMI right there. My meeting password. Currently the setting says I require a meeting password. These are the read-only settings. We're going to see how to edit them in just a moment. You'll see the URL to join the personal meeting room, published and made available there, and whatever settings may be associated with video, with audio, and with whatever additional meeting options that may be under advanced options down below. As I scroll down, we could see those there. Now I have the ability to start a meeting on demand right here. I can edit the settings, quote unquote. It's really editing the meeting because it's a standing meeting that's just always available. And I can edit them, editing the settings. So we'll do that in just a moment. But notice I also up here have the ability across from the join URL right there as we zoom in, and you could see that it's on the join URL line. But I have the ability to copy this invitation. Let me do that. And you'll notice I can copy the meeting invite. I have a little copy meeting invite down below. But notice what's in the meeting invite. It has the invitation. It says, I am inviting you to a scheduled Zoom meeting, me being the O365 guy. The topic is meeting in my personal meeting room. Join the Zoom meeting. You'll see the URL is there and the meeting ID is there. So if I want to do that, let's just copy that. Okay, it's copied to clipboard. Great. I could take that theoretically, and I could go somewhere else, perhaps, let's say, over to Outlook. And let's say that if I didn't have the Zoom plugin that is available for me to schedule meetings, if it wasn't available and I hadn't integrated it, but I wanted to email this invitation to somebody. I'm just going to paste the invitation right there so you could see it in the email. And I wanted to send this off to somebody, maybe myself. And maybe I want to send it to ITProTV4, one of the other users that's available to me in my tenant here, and say, personal meeting URL, or YRL, I suppose, would work just as well. URL for my meeting room, right? Make someone aware of that. I swear I would be dangerous if I can learn how to type and spell correctly. All right, so I've got all that there, and so you can see I've set that up, and I can click send. Let's do that, send that off, and sure enough, that's going to go in there, and eventually it will show up. There it is for me. And you could see, shows me my little indicator that I just got a message because I'm logged into my inbox. I am O365 guy. And you'll notice that I have that link, and I can bring up, when I click on that, my link to actually join that meeting. You'll notice it brings up, I just left the desktop app for Zoom opened and logged in. It is going to join with an error here because I'm in the Windows 10 virtual machine. I don't have audio capability set up here. So we get that error, but in the normal machine, in the normal world, when you do this, and you have audio and you have a camera and everything is working and tested, it'll join with no audio issues. We're actually in the meeting. It's just telling me there's a problem with the audio right now. So I've got that already set up, and I'm in there waiting on somebody else to show up. So I actually have that meeting capability, and I can use that with no trouble right from there. Now let's go back here to our meeting information. Let's go down to the bottom. Let's edit the settings and just take a look at this personal room meeting. So I'm going to come down here. We've already seen what start a meeting does, and inviting somebody is just another way of starting a meeting. Let's click on edit this meeting. We're going to do that. There we go. And you'll now notice that all of those options that are available that I saw, like the name right here, for instance, you'll see it's in this area, my meeting ID, etc. Some of them will be editable, others are not. I can require a meeting password and provide it. It will then be part of the meeting request if I choose to give it out or not. It's up to me. I can specify the default settings for audio and video participation, how they will be set up for users. I can specify the dial from numbers and edit those, and I can enable certain settings for users. Maybe enable wait room, and meeting participants will be muted upon entry. And I can save those. And when I do that, those are now going to be set up. Let me actually just scroll down here one second. And they are going to be enabled, as you can see, right down there as part of the settings. And so now that will become part of that as I go and give out this meeting invitation. And so personal meeting rooms are really just a way of setting up a space that we have a unique identifier for, that URL with a personal meeting identifier, the PMI. And by using that, we're able to then schedule meetings by essentially handing it out and saying, hey, I'd like you to meet or join with me here. It's a little private area. We can have a one-on-one meeting. Maybe this is good for in the education space. If you're a professor or an educator or teacher working with students, you can invite them to office hours when you want to do one-on-ones and easily have those meetings and just set them up. You could have a standing general meeting, just what we call a normal standard meeting, where the class can just come in and have open forum office hours, maybe an open Q&A. But you could also have private meetings in your personal room. In the organization or business world, I could see where this is good for managers, maybe to have meetings one-on-one with team members, or for team members themselves to get together and collaborate, as opposed to having a general meeting that may be open to a lot of people. There's all sorts of reasons why the personal meeting space can be good. It gives us that vanity URL that allows us to schedule with a unique identifier. Now, if we look at the desktop application, I happen to have it open here. Let's just bring it up. Make it full screen just so we can see it. I see that I have a meeting scheduled from one of the other demonstrations we were doing, so that's right there. But let's go over here to our meetings icon on our navigation bar, and you'll see that I have my personal meeting ID, my PMI right there. And you'll notice that PMI was part of the personal meeting request, or the meeting request for the personal room. And you'll notice that I have the scheduled meeting I already have, and I can start that right from here, but I'm not setting up my personal meeting room here. I'm just able to see my PMI, my personal meeting identifier from here. If I want to be able to set up and edit the settings on my personal room, I want to be able to go and do that from the portal. A lot of people get confused and think they come in here to be able to do that. What you'll notice and see is that I'm editing a meeting request here by edit. People see that edit icon and they say, oh, that means I can go in and edit the personal meeting settings. Well, no, what it really means is you're editing a meeting that you now want to spin up and potentially invite people to. It's not the same thing as editing the settings for the personal meeting room. It looks very similar, as you will notice, but one of the things that is unique, just to call your attention to it, that tells us it's not that we're editing the personal meeting room, but rather we're setting up an individual meeting unique to us, is that we do have a day and time scheduling option where for the personal meeting room, when we edit the settings, we're not worried about when the meeting's going to happen. It happens on demand when we click to start it right from there, or we send that URL to somebody and we tell them we want them to, join us at such and such time. But rather, you see, we do have the meeting scheduling option here to edit an individual meeting and to set that up. So a small but important distinction that you just want to make sure you see and are aware of. I'll be back with additional episodes as we continue our conversations in our How to Use Zoom series. But until I am, I'm going to wish you a happy Zooming and say I'll see you later. Check out the playlist for more videos on how to use Zoom and be sure to subscribe to the ITProTV channel. I'm Adam Gordon, and thanks for watching.